Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank B Choppin', and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. So jumping straight into this video, guys, as you can see, I'm taking the new X Evo from Gamma, and I'm using this to bald out my client. If y'all watched the last video, well, I'm sorry, not the last video, but the video before my last video, y'all would see I just purchased the new X Evo and X Ergo, and I did an unboxing on them. I actually did this haircut on the video. However, I had it time-lapsed. It was sped up. You know, I didn't talk about it or nothing. So I decided to release this video as an actual haircut tutorial. Anyway, like I said, guys, I'm using this trimmer to bald out my client, and as you can see, we are going to be doing about a mid fade. I am going to raise the fade a little bit, but it's still going to be a mid fade in my eyes. Alright, so let me tell y'all a little bit about this trimmer, guys. This is the X Evo before I actually zero gapped it. This was fresh out the box. I just put some oil on it, charged it up, and I put it to use. And I'm not gonna lie, fresh out the box, it cut well, but it just wasn't as short as I would have personally liked it. So I did zero gap it after I used it, after I did this haircut, and it's more, I like it more now because it's more to my liking, you know what I'm saying? Like it balds out, I don't want to say better, but it balds out shorter and it lines up better. You know, the lines come out a lot more crisp now that I zero gapped it. So my personal experience, guys, I had to zero gap it for me to get that actual, basically I had to zero gap it to get it to do exactly what I wanted it to do. It did cut good before I zero gapped it. It cut really good. Like, it didn't have no issues with balding them out. It balded them out really easy. Didn't get stuck, didn't pull the skin. It glided through the hair really easily. So I liked it. I just needed it to be shorter. That's why I zero gapped it. And that's basically the same thing I did with the actual clipper with the X Ergo. I liked it. It was cutting good. It was gliding through the hair. But after I put it to use on this haircut, I seen that for my liking, it just wasn't as short as I like my clippers to be. So I did zero gap it. Well, I actually didn't zero gap it, but I just moved the blade closer. That way it cut a little shorter. So this is the X Ergo, and we're putting it to use. And remember, guys, this is the first haircut that I actually did with the new X Ergo and X Evo. So I'm actually using the dubs also. So these are the guards you get with the clipper. It comes with double magnetic guards. It's some new guards that Gamma came out with, and I wanted to use the guards that it came with because I knew they were slightly different than their older guards. So I wanted to try them out and see how they worked. This was the number 4 guard that I used to debulk the sides. And now what I'm doing is I'm setting in my next guideline. I have my clipper all the way open, and I'm gonna be coming up about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
And then y'all know how I do it, guys. I like to fade downward after I set in my guideline, meaning after I set in this guideline, I'm gonna close my clipper halfway, come halfway into that section, close my clipper 1 notch, attack that bottom line, and then close it all the way. And that, for the most part, should take away that bottom line. And if it doesn't, it's all good, because I'm gonna come back and hit it up with that trimmer if needed. So can't even speak properly. So we actually aren't gonna show me doing the razor work. He didn't get any enhancements, but we're only gonna show this side of the haircut, because you know what I'm saying, I really wasn't gonna record it for a full tutorial. I was just recording it to get some footage for the video of me unboxing the clipper. But like I said, guys, I wanted to put out this as a tutorial because it was my first haircut with these clippers, and I just figured that y'all like that. So I hope y'all do, and I'm just gonna talk y'all through what I'm doing, just run it through like a regular haircut tutorial. Alright, so as I was using it, I did like the way that it was cutting. It was cutting really well. It did take a little bit of me getting used to it because it's not the same blade that the old Ergos come with. So the old Ergos come with a fade blade, and this one was a taper blade. So it was a little different at first, but I believe I got the hang of it. Well, I think I got the hang of it pretty quick. Alright, so now what I'm doing here, guys, is this is the number 1 guard, and I have my lever all the way open. And I'm gonna be coming up about 3/4 inch also. And as y'all can see, I am floating the clipper slightly, using a slight flick out motion, not really following the shape of the head, because I want to create a square, a squared look. So I just went up, like trying to square it off, and I floated that clipper slightly, and then I closed my clipper all the way, attacked that bottom line, And even though it didn't take the line out completely, that's perfectly fine, because I know I still have that 0 guard or that 1/16 that can help me, you know, get rid of that line. And as y'all can see here is, all I'm doing here is I'm just adjusting that lever, trying to get rid of some dark areas or some dark lines or any dark spots that I see. Now this is the 0 guard. It's technically the same thing as a 1/16 guard, but you can call it a 0 or a 1/16, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going in with my clipper, I believe it's halfway. And if it's not halfway, no, I'm lying, it was all the way open. And I was just using a flick out motion, and then I closed my clipper halfway, and I'm still attacking the bottom of that line with that bottom line in that previous section that I set in. And then I close my lever notch by notch, trying to get rid of that line. And as you can see here, it's doing a pretty good job at erasing that line. This 0 guard, it kind of really reminds me of the y'all know the purple magnetic guards from Andis. It reminds me of their original 0 guard. So not the new 0 guard that it comes with, but the ones that they used to release back, you know, like 3, 4, no, I think it was like 5 years ago. Anyways, this is the number 3 guard, and I don't know if y'all can see it, but the tooth is a little bended. You know, it's a little bent. I said bended. It's a little bent, but for, you know, it still worked good. So at the beginning when I first put the guard on, I was like, what's going on here? But it still works, and I still use it like that. It ain't a big deal. I still get the job done. So I started off with my clipper open, and I was just coming right below what I did with the number 4 guard at the beginning of this haircut, and I'm just floating that clipper up and away, and then I closed my clipper, did the same exact thing. Now I have my number 2 guard on there. My lever is all the way open, and I'm coming right below where I came with that number 3 guard, still floating that clipper using a slight flick out motion, trying to get rid of them dark areas or any dark spots that I see. And as you can see, I have that brush in my hand, and I'm just continuing to brush the hair down, that way I can see how the hair lays. And once I'm done with this step, I'm gonna close my clipper all the way, and I'm gonna attack that bottom line. And once I do this, it should, for the most part, clean everything up, and it should bring this fade together. And I did go over, you know, some of these spots a little more than I normally do. And the reason why, guys, is because, you know, it's a new clipper, new guard, so I really wasn't sure how to use them and how they cut. So I was being a little cautious. This is my 1.5 guard. Same thing, guys, it's all the way open. I'm coming up and I'm just attacking that line, and then I'm gonna close my lever notch by notch. Well, really not even notch by notch. I first closed it halfway, and then I'm closing it all the way, just cleaning up this fade. And I decided to fade down, guys, honestly, because it's a new guard system and it's a new clipper, so I didn't want to run the risk of messing up my client. Not that I thought I was gonna mess him up, but you know how it is sometimes when you get new clippers or new guards or whatever, you want to be a little safer. So normally what I do is I do some down fading technique. However, most of the time I fade up into a number 2 or maybe the 1.5 guard all the way open. But this time I just faded up to my 1 guard all the way open, and then I started coming down, you know, from that 4 to the 3 to the 2 to the 1.5, and now this is my number 1 guard, lever open, doing some cleanup work, and then I'm gonna close that lever and just detail these dark areas a little more. And honestly, as y'all can see, this haircut's already coming together. I felt, like I said, guys, like I said earlier, I felt that I just learned this clipper pretty quickly. Obviously, I do have the ergos, you know, the older set of ergos, not the X ergos, but the regular ergos. And I think, you know, it's real similar. You know, it has the notches on it. Yes, it comes with a stretch bracket, but I didn't even put the stretch bracket on there. So basically, it's the same length. It's a little longer because it's a taper blade and not a fade blade. But you know, when you gap it a little closer, it still cuts really good. All right, so now I'm going in with that 1/16 guard or that 0 guard, whatever you want to call it. I guess we'll call it the 0 guard because since that's what it says on the actual guard. So I'm going in with that 0 guard, and I'm just going to be adjusting that lever as needed. Obviously, I started with my lever all the way open, and then I'm closing that lever notch by notch, cleaning up these dark areas, getting rid of any of these discrepancies that I may see in the fade, and basically just tying this haircut together. And after I do this, I am going to attack the bottom of that fade with that trimmer just to get out that bottom line. Okay, my bad, I lied. I'm going in with my clipper lever open, and then I'm gonna just adjust that lever, you know, do some lever play. And if y'all pay attention, you'll see me tilting my clipper at different angles. And the reason why I do that, guys, is because when you tilt your clipper at a different angle, it actually cuts at a different length. So when you tilt your clipper more up, I don't even know how to explain it, like with the tail of the clipper coming higher, you know what I'm saying, like it cuts a little longer, so sometimes I tend to do that and I come up. It basically looks like I'm coming up to what I did with that zero guard, but it's not going to be cutting shorter than that. It's probably going to be cutting about the same because of the way that I'm holding the clipper and the way the blade is, you know, is on the scalp. I hope I ain't confuse y'all with that, but I just wanted to put that out there. But anyways, now I'm going in with the X Evo, right? Yeah, the X Evos, and I'm taking out that bottom line. I get confused, man, because the X Ergo, the X Evo, it's almost the same thing, and then the X in front, and y'all know what it is, man, but y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm taking that trimmer and I'm cleaning up the bottom of this fade, and I think I placed this fade. I think I placed this fade pretty good, especially for the first time of me using this clipper and this trimmer. I just think it came out good. I actually surprised myself. I mean, honestly, I knew I was gonna give him a good haircut, but I was really surprised at the way I got to use them guards and the way that, you know, I learned them guards really quickly. Because after I did this haircut, basically every haircut after this, I went back to my normal steps of fading, and it kind of gives the same effect. I mean, obviously I gotta do some detail work differently, and I gotta attack the haircut slightly different because the guards are a little different, but for the most part, guys, I do my same steps and the haircuts come out good. And I really like the way the guards work. Like, everyone was asking me how I like the dub guards, and I honestly like the way they work. Like, I feel they feed the hair into the clipper really well. Yeah, some of like the 0 and the 1 I think are a little longer than their old guards or than the wall guards, but like the 2 and the 3 are slightly shorter. The 4 is like the same thing, so they are a little different, but I feel they cut good, and I feel they do go into each other pretty good. If you like any of these tools, guys, including the guards, you can purchase these off of their website and use my code TANK10, and you'll save yourself a little bit of money. Alright, guys, so I just lined them up. I lined up the beard a little bit. We didn't do too much crazy work on the beard. We are fading it in, and as you can see, or as you just saw, I did a little bit of detail work on the fade, but for the most part, I felt that this fade came out pretty good. Like, I can see it here and it looks really good. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it so far, guys. Well, honestly, this is the end of this video. Like, yeah, it is the end. This is the actual finished product, guys. I did add the razor. I didn't do any enhancements, but y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comments, guys. If y'all like this haircut, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. I appreciate y'all, YouTube. I really hope y'all like this video, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Until next time, YouTube, let's go.